Hello, and welcome back to Ashton's Top 10s. Today's Top 10s are newbie mistakes as a waitress. So, the first mistake a new waitress makes is checking up on a table too often. So many waitresses do this. Like, for example, you ask them if they want a drink every 10 minutes. Like, you gotta give the table some space. But then you don't know if they are done or not, so they ask them multiple times because you don't want their plate sitting on their table too long in the way if they're done eating. Number 2, not checking on the table enough. Seriously, it's almost like a win-lose thing for waitresses, especially new ones. You either go to the table too much or not enough. Like, do they need a refill? Do they want things out of their way? What if you're too busy to get to each table as soon as possible? Number 3, showing the customers you are stressed out. I myself and so many other waitresses do this, whether you know it or not. One time I got in trouble for rolling my eyes at a table and I didn't even know I was rolling my eyes. It was like in my first couple weeks waitressing at Pizza Hut and we were super busy and I was very stressed. And also, if your boss is crap or you do not like the people who you're working with that night, do not let your customers know that. It'll make them uncomfortable and you will most likely get a crap tip. Number 4, flirting with customers. Stop and do not do this whatsoever. Please do not do this, especially if they are with someone else. It is annoying. Even if the customer is flirting with you, do not flirt back. It is so unprofessional. You shouldn't even have time to flirt. Go get a different table, some drinks or something. Halfway done. Number 5, ignoring customers. I cannot stress how awful this is enough. Do not sit there and talk to your coworkers when a customer is needing assistance. For whatever reason you are ignoring them, stop. If you do not like them, get over it. It is your job. Trying to finish your conversation with a coworker? Stop. They will be there later and your tip is just getting smaller. Believe me, your customer is getting super annoyed with you and will not leave you a good tip. They may leave you a bad note for your service or even better, talk to your manager. Number 6, filling the cup with too much ice. I know that some places will train you to put so much ice in a cup, but that just means more refills for you to do when you do not have to. They want to have a drink, not ice. Please do not fill that cup up with ice to the very top. Would you like that if you were out eating and barely got anything to drink because your waitress filled your cup up with ice? No, you wouldn't. Especially to-go drinks. Please do not fill those up all the way. Some people may have long drives and want that drink to last them, but it can't because you filled it completely full with ice. On to number 7, forgetting who ordered what or what a certain table ordered. As a starting waitress, you should really take paper and a pen to write down orders. You won't be able to remember, trust me, because you could take an order, then on your way back to put the order in, another table could ask for something, so you forget their order, and now you have to try to remember that while trying to remember what the other table wanted. No matter how little it is, take a pen and pad with you. Number 8, taking forever to go to your table. Waitresses who aren't even new do this too. If the host or whoever seats a table, do not make them wait forever. Okay, now I mean a minute or two will not kill them, but when the waitress is clearly not busy, do not make them sit there for 15 minutes. It has happened. One time I went to Applebee's and it was like 3 in the afternoon. Obviously not a busy time. And we seriously sat there for like 15 minutes waiting on our waitress. Then, when we got our food, it was so cold because she talked to the tables behind us for at least 10 minutes. And then, when she brought us our food, she said, "Oh, it wasn't done." Like, I obviously knew you were talking to the table behind me. Please do not do this. Number 9, complaining about a tip. Your customers can hear you, whether you think they can or not. Someone will most likely hear you. You may think you're talking quiet enough, but you probably aren't. If you complain about a tip, do it when you have no customers or after closing. When you get home, just not when people are there eating. If they hear you complain about the $5 tip, why would they want to leave you one? Personally, when I worked at Pizza Hut, a $5 tip was a good tip. When you complain, it'll make your customer not want to leave you a tip. Maybe that $5 tip is all they can afford and they hear you complaining about it. Now you have made them feel bad. So, just don't do it. Number 10, vacuuming while customers are eating. Okay, so if you need to clean a little like sweeping, I do not care about that. I would rather you sweep and pick up the food on the floor rather than the place be a complete mess with food everywhere. But vacuuming is way too much. I don't want to hear the vacuum running while I'm trying to eat and talk and enjoy myself. So please just sweep up the mess for now. Yes, you can sweep on the carpet if you have carpet where you're working. It's possible. I have done it a ton. So just sweep up the mess for now and wait to vacuum until after closing. That's it for the top 10 this week. Newbie mistakes as a waitress. Join us next week for the top 10 tips for a senior in high school.